And welcome back. This is Eventually Late. I'm your host, Brent Carlson. Strike three. Now Cole Tomas Allen has entered the ranks as yet another attempted assassination was carried out against President Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner this past May. Few details were released from the assassination attempt, but here is a couple of pictures of Allen at the site. Here he is checking the carpet. And here he is in the future. It's amazing how they get those so quick, too. I'm always amazed. Well, more information has emerged from the attempt on President Trump after the Secret Service released information that Cole Tomas Allen was carrying pliers, wire cutters, and a knife during his assassination attempt. Apparently, Allen had planned to stab President Trump and then wire up a lamp in the White House ballroom. You know, you never can get people to take care of that stuff anymore. You just got to do it yourself. Well, Al Sharpton is back in the news as he is making plans to travel to Somalia in order to show his support for the Somali people embattled in political turmoil. The leaders of Somalia sent an invitation to Sharpton last year in order to prove they are doing what's best for their country. However, when the Somalians got their first glimpse of Sharpton on a Zoom call, they all reacted by saying, "Who the f*** is this white guy?" I don't know if he's going to fit in. He's a little pasty for that crowd. Well, Walgreens is in the midst of leaving yet another neighborhood in Chicago due to shoplifting losses and violence committed at the store locations. Chicago City Alderman William Hall pushed back against the leaving of the Cottage Grove Avenue location, arguing that leaving the community without medical necessities should be illegal and considered, quote, first-degree corporate abandonment. To demonstrate that Walgreens isn't completely insensitive to the situation, the pharmacy chain has promised to leave Chicago at the nearest convent or fire station front porch. That's how you get those babies, those orphans. And before we go any further, let me mention to be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and more importantly than anything, tell all your friends about Eventually Late. Because 250 views may sound like a lot, but it doesn't quite get us there. Well, the global warming agenda continues with its antics after a topless woman in Austria hung upside down in a bell in order to raise awareness for the alleged climate emergency. It's really not a big deal, though. They just took out the one knocker and put in two more. See what I did there? Yeah. I kind of liked it. She's good looking, too. I got to hand it to her. Well, if you missed the Olympics, you can still catch the inaugural installment of the Enhanced Games this summer in Vegas. The competition allows for any and all athletes to use performance-enhancing drugs in order to make for a more entertaining experience. A few of the competitions to be played will be the shrunken testicle shot put and prosthetic fencing, where you fight with your own fake leg. I don't know what horse they're riding, but I gotta guess it's gotta be pretty short. Well, while very controversial, the Enhanced Games is expected to benefit the Special Olympics by providing new competitors every 4 years. There's just some things you just really can't do. Well, Anthony Menchaca, a Gilbert, Arizona man, was arrested for pretending to have Down syndrome in order to get 3 female caregivers to bathe the man and change his diapers. Police say the 3 women were also arrested for not being able to tell if a guy has Down syndrome. I mean, I don't know if it should be a law, but ought to be a rule. Well, as the story went, Menchaca reportedly posed as his own mother, telling female caregivers that he needed someone to bathe and change the diapers of their adult son with Down syndrome. The absurdity of the story climaxed when it was discovered that Menchaca never even shaved his beard during the entire scam. I mean, if you can't get past the bearded lady, the Downs guy is going to get past you. Well, a coroner's van was spotted last month at soon-to-be-retired California Representative Nancy Pelosi's home. No one at the residence had expired, and in fact, when the coroner's office was asked of the incident, they just said, someone calls us there every week. You know, just in case. It's being efficient. Well, an Arkansas school director was sentenced to 30 days in jail, 120 days of house arrest, including electronic monitoring, and 9 years of probation after prosecutors accused her of being the, quote, ringleader of a makeshift child fight club. Mary Tracy Morrison, 51, instructed students to hit, kick, and punch other students that were surrounded in a circle. The incident closely resembles every day of PE class before 2003. You had to be tough back then. That rope goes all the way to the ceiling and you had to climb it? And no, not. Well, Gen Z folks have created a new paid time off perk in their work lives known as the mini retirement trend, and it has begun to affect office life all over the country. Employees are taking a couple of days off here and there to reboot and refresh. Every generation before Gen Z brashly called this new trend the weekend. I mean, I still kind of do. Well, Brittany Griner is facing backlash after she allegedly went scorched earth when she said she was ashamed that Sydney Sweeney had been elevated to being a promoter of women. Well, speaking for all men, we're perfectly fine with Sydney Sweeney. But as for Griner, we are ashamed of her representing men. Well, in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, a dog accidentally discharged a loaded shotgun inside a parked truck at a short-stop convenience store. In Scottsbluff, Nebraska, a dog accidentally discharged a loaded shotgun inside of a parked truck at a short-stop convenience store. In Scottsbluff, Nebraska, a dog accidentally discharged a loaded shotgun inside a parked truck at a short-stop convenience store. I mean, it's all punchline, isn't it? Well, new releases in footwear is getting people fired up as the Barely There sandal is now leading the pack in shoe sandals. What is sure to follow is the barely recognizable face when everybody completely falls on their ass after wearing the Barely There sandals. I mean, it's hard to keep them on. Well, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu has announced the city's endorsement of an indoor educational discussion and workshop titled Trans Period Pride. It isn't known if there will be visual aids, but a ketchup and barbecue sauce shortage is expected over the next couple of weeks. Okay. With that, we'll end this episode of Eventually Late. We thank everybody for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe and tell all your friends. Thanks for joining us.